Hi everybody, how's it going? Hell yeah, Oil Tank 3000, it is chainsawing time. I actually... It's super weird how I have so many assets that I can just like whip out my chainsaw asset because it's Chainsaw Man Day here on this channel. It is Chainsaw Man Day. God, I actually really like Chainsaw Man. I enjoy the series a lot. This is not... You know, this is definitely a little bit of clout chasing. I'm not going to pretend like this is not a little bit of clout chasing, but I do really like Chainsaw Man. So I'm glad it's finally getting a lot of love thanks to the anime. Speaking of which, speaking of things that are brand new and exciting, check this out. New screen, new background working screen. I recently came to realize that like my working screen was getting a little bit stale for myself. First episode was fucking good. Yeah. Yeah, I cannot wait for people to get to the redacted scene. Like one of the few rare treats of being like a manga exclusive dude is that I know what's coming for literally everybody who's anime only. And brother, it does not look good for them. No, but I am honestly quite glad that like Chainsaw Man is getting a lot of attention and love. I loved the opening sequence. I actually have a reference of the guy right here. I have another reference, but I don't think I can show it on stream because he is extremely covered in blood in that one. So I'm not sure I'm allowed to show that on twitch.tv.net.org.edu. But you know, I'll make do somehow, right? Yeah. Honestly, like, God, the OP is really fucking good, guys. My favorite part of the opening for the series is the not even exaggerating, not even 3 seconds. It's like a 1 second long clip of the Future Devil just fucking partying, just like dancing his little heart out. The Future Devil just like grooving hard, and it's just my favorite part of the scene, honestly. It's like my favorite part of the opening. I can probably put him on here, hang on. I think I actually have that GIF saved somewhere here. Yes, I do. Alright, hang on. There's my boy. But yeah, I've been meaning to try a new way to arrange the yeah, I've been trying out new ways to. I like how I arranged my my stream overlay to be less cluttered, and the first thing I do is just fill it with litter. It's just like in real life, I sort of got like whenever I clean my apartment, the first thing I do is just immediately get it messy again. It's honestly kind of a problem, but I'm happy that like it's nice to change it around every now and again. You know, it's like obviously it's not like there are strengths and benefits to changing it frequently, right? So like if you change it frequently, you know, it's always exciting. There's always something new to look at, especially if you're somebody who does like really like cluttered backgrounds or really nice backgrounds. I'm not one of those people. I want to become one of those people, but right now my graphic design sensibilities kind of cap out at use a bunch of patterns from CSV and hope for the best. Yeah. On the bright side, they are very nice looking patterns and such from CSV, so I don't think it's bad, to be perfectly honest. I think they look nice. Okay. Hang on. I feel like I should almost do the head last, but that would be such a bad idea because then I'd have to erase everything that's underneath it. I think like this calls for some blocking. I actually do. Like I want to try to block things out. I do remember that like I remember Leo said that that helped him a lot. So I want to try and do that a little bit. Because you can actually see here that there are like straight lines you can make out of everything. Also, Scorn just got released so fast. I actually haven't heard much about Scorn. I don't know what it is. I know like a bunch of my friends are playing it. I know Harvey tried to play it. I know V tried to play it, but I don't know I don't know what it's about. But it sounds like everybody who's wanting to play it is really interested. Chainsaw Man, indeed. Hey, Leo. But yeah, I don't know what Scorn is. I don't know what I don't know what that game is about. I've seen like pictures of the cover of it, which is like a mouth or something, unless I'm mistaking it for something else. But yeah, I don't know too much about Scorn, but it sounds exciting. Yeah, I wonder if it's like another one of those boomer shooters that have been making a resurgence. I know that New Blood has been doing the Lord's work, a lot of heavy lifting on that front. Yeah, Scorn is a puzzle horror gun game. Alright, now you have my attention. Puzzle horror gun game. Now, puzzle horror gun game, to me, sounds like an inventory management game. Like, I do know that while I was playing Resident Evil 4, what's the give on your overlay? That's a future devil dancing his little heart out. Look at my boy. Hey, wait, hang on. I've got an idea. I've got a really bad idea. This is a GIF, right? Which means I can put it in VTube Studio. Yeah, it's like literally 0.5 seconds of the opening. He's in there. But, hang on. Wait. Okay, it went into the folder. So if I open this up now... Yes! Oh my god, that's so fast! Look at him go! Alright, let's try that again a little bit slower this time. Alright, let's put that at like 25 frames per second. Have you seen that one meme being the One Piece is real moment? I haven't actually seen like the thing that it's from. Hang on. Not a completely over my head, but there we go. Yeah, I like to imagine that this is just what's going on in there nowadays if I'm just like blanking out. If you like pina coladas. But yeah, I've seen the One Piece is real meme. Like, I haven't seen... I know that it began with like... There's no delicate way to put this. It came from a lot of edits of like the characters' penises being out. I know that much. I haven't seen those, but I do know the meme. I do know the One Piece is real meme. Can we get much higher? So high. Oh. Okay, so I'm guessing like around here is where the thing is gonna go. But yeah, the future devil is real. God. I cannot wait until one obviously a bunch of scenes are going to be really good animated, but I cannot wait for like the one specific scene to get animated. You know, if you know the scene, you know the scene. The one specific scene that gets animated. When that gets animated, I cannot wait to be fucking broken by it. The thing is, right? I'm not a guy who either wants to be moved emotionally by media or is easily moved emotionally by media. So like, if I see something sad, right, I'll get emotional and the emotions will stress me out, but I won't like cry. But like, there are some ones in particular that'll just really strike a chord with me and I'll just like weep like a little baby. And the specific scene that I'm talking about in Chainsaw Man is one of those pieces of media that did that to me. Yeah. Also, the original Naruto is getting reanimated. I don't give a fuck about that, to be perfectly honest. Naruto, my friend Naruto, he's my friend, but like I don't like, I've never seen Naruto. I've never really cared about Naruto too much. My cousin did. I know my cousin actually really cared about Naruto, and a bunch of kids in my grade also cared about Naruto because, like, you know, it's one of the big Shonen Jump animes. I never got into it, but I know that Naruto is, like, super important to a lot of people. Maybe I shouldn't have said that I don't give a shit about it, like, so casually. But yeah, that's outside of really like my realm of interest. But I'm happy that like, you know, it's always cool when like older anime gets reanimated because, you know, nowadays because of the kind of more bigger emphasis on production values, you know, that's not to say that old animation was bad by any means. Like if you see like 3 frames of Akira, it's like it's just absolutely gorgeous. You could say you haven't seen that, and no need to be that aggressive about it. What is that emote that you're using? N0 Costanza. It looks like the Taiko Tatsujin drum guy, but like really mad. I'm sorry, that sounded like I was dodging the subject. I didn't really mean to do that, but it was bothering me for a moment. Anyway, yeah, I haven't seen the news about that. I haven't seen the anime. I was not in that group as a child, as a wee baby. Okay. Actually, I think this would be even further up. There we go. But yeah. The thing is as well, right? I really should try to watch the anime because, on the like, obviously because I really like Chainsaw Man, right? But also because what I've realized is that like, you know, the other day, right? I saw a trigger warning list floating around on the internet for Chainsaw Man. I was like, huh. I wonder what's in there, and I read through it, and I was like, oh man, I forgot that happened. Yeah. So, like, I feel like I should almost, like, try to remember what's going on in there a little bit. Oops. Something I've been wondering about recently, right? That's been going through my mind is ergonomic mice. So I know that ergonomic mice are obviously very good for your wrists. I do wonder if they are comfortable for like gaming and such, because I know my dad actually has an ergonomic mouse and keyboard from. Hang on. Okay, so the first line's around here. And it goes to around here. There we go. Anyway, yeah, I've been like thinking about getting myself an ergonomic mouse because I know your wrists are one of the few things that your wrists are one of those things that are extremely precious because once you mess them up, you mess them up for life, and they don't grow back. You were bothered by it? Did your homies spam your Twitter about it, or someone pissed on your Cheerios Monday? I'm feeling a lot of aggression right now. Calm down a little bit, alright? Bothered by it. I mean, not bothered by it, but like... I really don't have to justify this. You're being kind of rude right now. I'm sorry to say that you're being kind of rude right now. That being said, like, it's more like it bothered me as in, like, I didn't know what it was. You know, like when you hear a noise in your home, right? And you're like, oh man, what is that noise? But like, you don't investigate it because it's probably not worth checking out. But like, it's still bugs, right? It's kind of like that. How do his teeth work? That's something that's always bothered me with characters who have like really sharp teeth. Like, you know, characters who have like teeth that are just like jagged lines. Like, no matter what you do, right, there's always going to be a tooth that ends up kind of in the middle here. Or like down here, depending on like what you do. So like, hang on. Right, because like, since you're using triangles instead of like squares or something, or a mix of triangles and squares, there's always going to be one that ends up in the middle, and that's always bugged me. That's always been something that I've been like, oh, man, like, I don't know. it's not even like bug as in like bothering me, but like it's bugging me as in like I'm not sure which one I use. So, like, you know, when I draw stuff, right, I think about it in, like, terms of... Okay, the future Devil Dance is actually making me a little bit motion sick. Gotta get rid of that guy. Sorry, dude. The future is not best. I was doing something. Hang on, it's taking me a minute to get it back. I'll figure it out or I won't. Okay, here we go. Right, okay, I was thinking about like the mouth part here. Yeah, this part then is kind of like getting hooked up to around here. The good thing, my tactical decision in choosing this angle, besides the fact that it just looks cool, is that it also hides a majority of the machinery components back here. Listen, all right. Real winners avoid drawing machinery when it can humanly be helped. Real winners avoid drawing machinery. There are people who actually enjoy it. I do know that there are people who actually super love drawing machinery. Haven't met any of them personally, but I do know that there are people who love drawing like technical stuff. And you know, more power to them, certainly, but that ain't me. You know, I get stressed, particularly because it's all just like black and light. You know, it's like slight shading, and then you know, it's like a little bit of it's like a little bit of like shading here and there. It's like a gradient, but otherwise it's just like black point. So that makes it a little bit difficult to make out what parts are in there. Naturally, you could just like look up a picture of a chainsaw and like its machinery on the inside, but that's even more work. So we skirt around it a little bit. We do a strategically sound decision. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then this is gonna go like this. I'll figure it out as I go, I think, this part of the design. I kind of want to look. Okay, so theoretically speaking, this second set of lines here is the more accurate of the two, but this first set kind of interrupts the shoulder a bit less. I'm not sure which one I want. Also, I feel like somehow the head is both way too big and a little too small. So we're off to a great start. Okay, so moving it around helped a little bit. I feel like now that might be a little bit more intuitive. Yo, hey Top Buzz, how you doing? Welcome to stream. Been a minute. How you been? Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're drawing a little bit of Chainsaw Man because the anime finally came out. And well, just go to bed. I just go to bed early. Good on you though. Like that's supposed to be helpful, right? You know, going to bed early, getting a proper breakfast. Yeah, these days my morning routine has really involved me using like this sun lamp that I got myself. So I got like this Amazon gift card at work from like this. I got like this Amazon gift card at work, and you know, $50 you can use this Amazon gift card for. That's pretty good money. I've been hearing about these like sun lamps that like simulate sunlight. So nowadays my morning routine is just wake up at like 6:40, you know, use the bathroom if I gotta, and I head on over to the lamp and I just like sit in front of it eating breakfast. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty great. Like, it feels nice. Like, it feels... I think I might have actually needed this lamp more than I thought. I don't know, the thing is, right, I'm not expecting that the lamp actually does anything. But the feeling of kind of taking control of your life like that is almost like what its actual value is. They're not selling you a lamp that can like do like 10,000 lumens. What they're selling you is the idea that you can take control of your life a little bit. I just pull into work and sit in my car like, God, do I even want to be here? I mean, that's like part 2 of it. Yeah, nowadays work is a weird mix between stressful and slow. Because a lot of it is just arranging calls with people. So I can handle that. I can definitely handle it. But because like people are super unpredictable, it ends up being much more difficult than I initially anticipated. Yeah. Not gonna lie though, I like my job. It feels good when I do my job right, which is, you know, like, frankly speaking, it's the minimum amount of job satisfaction you could ask for. But it's nice that I can still experience it. I wish like he had like extra teeth. Like, I just worked there before because it pays half decent. Hey, I mean, like, as long as it puts food on the table and keeps a roof over your head, it's better than nothing, right? That's what I like to think. Yeah, earning a living and such. I know. As long as like you can tolerate it, I think you're gonna be fine. Yeah, I think like as long as you can tolerate where you work at, you'll be fine. Yeah, there's not always gonna be great days, but like there will be definitely like better days than others. Okay, and there we go. What I really like about Denji's outfit is that he very purposely has like a... Oh, he doesn't have it here. Normally he has like a tie clip, which I find incredibly funny. For just whatever reason. Like, he just has a tie clip, which is funny to me because, like, sir, you're going to get covered in blood. I appreciate the fact that you're trying to, like, keep your tie in place, but it's not gonna do much, bro. I have been meaning to get myself a tie clip as well as a thing. I've been, you know, I've been on the hunt for those. It's weird, like, no store near where I live sells a tie clip. Which feels weird because, like, they're really cheap to produce. Like, it's a bar of metal. Well, no, that's not true. One place I visited sold tie clips. But for some reason, like, they only had, like, bejeweled ones. Like, ones that were really fancy. I was like, I can't wear this. Like, it had, like, just a big fucking ball of metal and, like, precious stones in it. I was like, it was behind a glass shelf. And, like, the moment the shopkeeper showed it to me and showed that it was, like, behind a glass shelf, I was like, oh no, this is not where this is not what I was looking for. Oh, jeez. What the world needs as a whole is a sustainable brand of things that you can just like really like wreck a little bit and they'll still be fine. I sincerely believe this. Like, the world needs just like very durable things. And everything else will work itself out. Like, if you make things that are durable, like, you have created a person who will never spend money on like another consumable thing again. Like, I mean, obviously, there are some things that you need to change even if they are durable. Like, I know towels or like pillows you need to change every couple of years, even if they're not like worn through. God, I changed my pillow like in the summertime, and it has been such a complete game changer. I had two pillows, right? One, I used like, back in the day, I used to use one of them as like a seat cushion until I realized that that wasn't working for me, so I just like changed my shit in my chair. Well, no, that's not true. Like, okay, I misremembered that. So I used one as a seat cushion, and then I was like, man, this is a really bad seat cushion. This pillow that's supposed to be used for laying your head on for some reason doesn't accommodate the full girth of my posterior. So, you know, I swapped it out for like this homemade cushion that I made myself. So I don't know how many of you have been to have like experience in martial arts dojos. So in some places, in order to like break your falls, they will have like these mats, right? They will be like these squarish mats that have like little jigsaw patterns all around them, and you can just kind of like connect them to each other with these jigsaw patterns. And I think I've told this story a couple times. One time the dojo where I went to got like a bunch of these because the sensei had just like ordered a bunch of them. And she was like, okay, we're gonna learn how to do groundwork on these. Get ready for that. I was like, hell yeah. So we spent like an afternoon like just washing them, unwrapping them, and all that. And you know, at the end of it, you know, because they come in these like square shapes, we had a bit left. Like we had like the outer ring left over. And, you know, being the enterprising individual that I am, I asked the sensei, like, hey, you mind if I take a couple of these with me? And she was like, weird ask, but sure, why not? So I took some home with me. And I've been using them for, like, little DIY projects ever since. I made myself, like, this, like, pen grip out of one. I made myself a seat booster out of one. Yeah, the problem with my seat the seat booster that I made myself for university was not because my body was too short, but because the chair was too low. So my chair was really low. Like it was like this really crappy, like fixed angle chair that looked like somebody had assembled it for like $20. So it was like this. It looked kind of like this, where this was the seat cushion and this was the backrest. I got on those. I got on one of those, and like because I have like a rather short torso and like slightly longer legs, right? What ended up happening is that my legs were like all the way over here, and my in my human form, my torso was like only like midway to the desk. So I ended up having to make myself like a seat booster so that it evened out. On the bright side, that probably means that I have longer legs than average, so you know. Supermodel rights bag. You know, my leg to body ratio is higher than average. I can take pride in that, if nothing else. Okay. The good news is as well that because this piece kind of crops out a lot, hopefully, hopefully... Okay, so there's two things working to my advantage here. One, Denji's outfit is like really simple. You know, it's just like... It's a shirt, a tie, and pant, and work slacks with a belt. It's not exactly like... It's not maximalist by any means. So that's one thing that that's in my favor. Got it. It's a damn shame that like they didn't manage to capture the fact that Denji constantly wears high tops. That's something that always made me laugh a little bit, that like these kids, you know, Denji in particular, just for some reason has Air Jordans on at all times. Yeah, gotta look fresh when you're slaying devils. Okay, this should be enough to go off of for now. Although I do wonder if I can, like, use foreshortening a little bit. I don't think that adds anything in particular. Yeah, I think we're good like this. Let's head in. Oh yeah, that reminds me that. Well, no, it doesn't remind me of anything. But I do remember that earlier today I saw this news article that for some reason apparently a bunch of Norwegian snow crabs, or Alaskan snow crabs, I think it was. Yeah, so there's a crabbing industry in Alaska, and they expected there to be a lot of snow crabs. Rather, they expected there to be snow crabs, period, but this time around there was just like such a shortage of them that like we're not gonna get snow crabs this year. Which I'm sure is heartbreaking for people who can afford to eat snow crab, one of whom I am not a member of. I mean, I don't know. Snow crab might not be super expensive, for all I know. I've never had snow crab, I've just had normal beach crab. I would like to try it. Yeah, I mean, like, crab is good. Like, I've had crab before. Crab is good. I like crab. It's one of the few... It's one of the... Unlike shrimp, for some reason, it doesn't impact my stomach. So it's I like eating crab. Crab is good. You know, if and when I can find places that do crab at a reasonable price, which isn't a lot. But you know, it's good to be on the lookout for them. But yeah, snow crab, huh? I think the only time that I've heard of snow crab, I haven't actually finished watching Soul Eater. I've never managed to finish Soul Eater. But one of the episodes I do remember watching is in the anime Soul Eater. There is a character called Excalibur who is an extremely powerful ally, but he is just so fucking annoying that nobody is willing to partner up with him. And in one episode, this one kid did manage to put up with his nonsense and managed to, like, partner up with him. And I think one of the things that he wanted to eat was, like, snow crab. Maybe when I'm out in the city next week, I'll try to get it. Or just go get octopus balls. Oh, man, takoyaki. Takoyaki is so good. Yeah, there's like this place in town that does takoyaki. It's a ramen restaurant, but they do karage and takoyaki as like appetizers and sides. And you know, if I indulge myself in ramen noodle, I figure why not go for broke and I get myself some takoyaki as well, because you know you deserve nice things sometimes. And every single time, it's just like so good. Yeah, jet sushi. Yeah, it's not jet sushi. I think it's another one. I think it's like Buta Ramen or something like that. I think that's the one near here. I think that's what the place is called. Yeah, Buddha Ramen is the one that does takoyaki. Yeah, Buddha Ramen is really good. They do the tonkotsu ramen. Yeah, really nice big thick pieces of pork. Really tasty. Yeah, because Lord knows that when you're a hungry individual and you crave the sushi, not even sushi, the ramen. The siren song of ramen noodle, you don't want to get like a half-assed slice of char siu pork. Alright? that is the worst case scenario that I can think of. I think Dante described that in one of his layers of hell. You know, being hungry and getting a very mid slice of char siu pork. Just line width. Yeah, thicken these two up a little bit. Man, you just know I'm gonna spend like 15 minutes drawing this chainsaw, when in reality I should have spent those 15 minutes drawing the super complicated headpiece, but that's just how I live my life. God, the funniest thing, right, is that the Chainsaw Man opening might be what actually motivates me to watch The Big Lebowski. I've never seen that movie. I've seen the memes of that movie. I've never actually watched the movie itself. I don't know what it's about. I understand, like, it takes place in a bowling alley, but that could be anything. There's a dude with a gun in there. Like, I don't know what he's doing there. He seems to be having an awful time, so... I don't know, like... Bowling is serious shit, I guess. Don't mess around with it. I am fully convinced that some of the worst acts of human violence have been committed inside of a bowling alley. Like, normally bowling alleys, I feel like, are, like, places of fun, but I feel like, for some reason, there's just something about them that would make rational men go completely feral. Yeah. I've thought about this before, like, there are places where you can just kind of feel that they're like a nexus of suffering. Yeah. Like, one time I went to a McDonald's near my house that had during the lunch rush, and there was not a single happy camper in that entire building. Like, it just felt miserable in there. You know, the food was coming in slowly, there were a lot of people in line, everybody was, like, upset, there was a kid crying, it just felt absolutely miserable in there. And I believe that this is, like, a cosmic occurrence, not just, like... This is far beyond, like, the normal circumstances of, you know, being in a cramped room with a lot of people that you don't know, waiting for food that you're hungry for. I feel like this is beyond that kind of, like, hangry kind of rationale. Like, I feel like you could bottle the sadness in that place and use it as a biological weapon. Yeah. I don't go to McDonald's during lunch rushes anymore. It just stresses me out. Well, like, I'm not even serving the food there, and it stresses me out. Like, that might be my bias, and, like, if I was just stressed out at that specific point, then yeah, that might just be my bias. That being said, I am a little bit disappointed that for the opening... You know, Kickback is a really good song, and it's the song that's used in the Chainsaw Man opening. Kickback is really good, and you know, I've seen the translated lyrics to it. It fits Denji's character arc pretty well. But I do have a complaint that it wasn't like a full-length version of of that one Chainsaw Man opera piece that they essentially made. If you haven't seen the video, there is, for the promotional, to promote the volume 1 of the manga in Japan, I think, they released a version, they released, you know, it was like a manga, I don't know how to describe it, so it, obviously, like, they couldn't animate anything, it wasn't like an animation, but they did essentially commission an opera group, what felt like a professional opera group, or like a group of professional opera singers, to sing the Chainsaw Man opening. Well, it wasn't the Chainsaw Man opening. I'm getting my stories mixed up. They basically sang the words Chainsaw Man in like an opera cantor in a very intense way, and that was like the background music that they used for this promotion of Volume 1. And the fact that they didn't use that for the opening is justified, but it does make me a little bit sad. You know, I feel like that was a great opportunity to just really go completely ham with it. I half expected the Jam Project to be involved, but I didn't see those guys. I didn't see my boys out there. It goes all the way down this thing, right? Yeah, it does. I realize now it's also been a while since I've just done normal raster art. You know, I've recently been doing a lot of pixel art. Well, not really pixel art. I've just been focusing on 3D modeling for my art streams. And while I feel like I have gotten some valuable experience for that, and I'm still not finished with what I'm working on just yet, I do feel like I've missed drawing normally like this. You know, it's one thing to step out of your comfort zone, but it's another thing to, like, you know, abandon the things that you like about art as well. Like, not even abandon, but just like leave it on the back burner for a while. It feels weird, and I'm glad to be back doing this sort of thing. Gonna slice this right here. But yeah, the Big Lebowski, huh? Yeah. On the flip side, I have heard that, like, you know, completely on the flip side of the situation with the snow crabs, I have heard that apparently, like, jellyfish farming is a thing in China. So I am wondering if we can't reach some kind of ecological happy medium by kind of replacing all the crab fishing we do for jellyfishing. Jellyfish. SpongeBob would know how to answer this. I think we could replace crab aqua agriculture. That's not a word. That cannot be a word. Aqua agriculture is definitely cannot be a word. It's probably a word in like some kind of like shitty sci-fi novel ripoff of Waterworld. But I cannot for the life of me imagine it's like squaculture. Aquaculture. Okay, I see your aquaculture. I see what you're going with aquaculture. I see that. But my reasoning is that if it's just aquaculture, that just means that you're cultivating water. Although I suppose aqua agriculture, it just means cultivating plants from the water, so I'm not much better. I mean, I don't know. Crabs could be plants. We don't know that they're not plants. You know, it's that carcinization theory. Eventually plants will also become crabs, so it's fine to consider crabs as plants right now. God. Carcinogen... Sometimes long words are really difficult to say. Carcinogenization. Boom. There we go. Nailed it. Carcinogenization is the process of things... You know, it's like a... What do you call phenomena of nature, where a lot of aquatic creatures will, for some rhyme or reason, end up looking like crabs over time. It's a lot how, like, in, like, land mammals, the optimized hunting shape will eventually be revealed to be like a ferret or something. That might have zero context for a lot of people, that's fine. My point is that, you know, assuming that eventually all plants will become crabs. No, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this bit. Not for this. Not like this. Normally I'm happy to bullshit stuff, but like saying that plants are going to become crabs, I feel is like one step too far for me. I know. Listen, I know that comedy and improvisation is not a matter of crossing your arms and saying no. It's a matter of going yes and. But I have standards. I have inherent human dignity as a bag of rice that was animated by the sun. Oh god. Sometimes I wonder if like my habit of like bullshitting will eventually catch up to me. And eventually I'll just like tell a lie so big that it will resound throughout reality and just cause me an interminable amount of trouble. It hasn't happened yet, but I am worried about what will happen if it does. I'm sure that's still a long ways off, though. Okay, let me take a look at the parts over here. Okay, so there's like... It's like these, like... L-shaped vents. Yeah. Reminiscing on, like, Chainsaw Man episodes is something of a... what do you call it? Like a... Not even, like, hit or miss, because it's always a hit, but, like... reminiscing on Chainsaw Man episodes is like a dangerous game for me because like I'll think about like, oh yeah, this thing happened, haha, isn't that funny? And then I'll remember that like Denji is like 16 years old when all this shit happens to him, and then I'll be like, oh god, he would have left playing Minecraft in the library computers after school. That is something I want to say. Like, I feel like even though Denji and Power would be completely suited to like being the Fortnite kids in class, I feel like Denji would be that one kid in school who like has fully memorized how to make mob farms in Minecraft and everything. And he just like plays Minecraft all day. I feel like that would be Denji if he had a happier life. I don't know why. I don't know why I get that feeling. I feel like that's just what would have made him happy. Okay, simplify vector line. Here we go. Okay, I see. Let me copy and paste this part right here. Although maybe I do have some bias because I was also that kid. Like I remember that I remember like some primal middle school memories being like me and my buddies just chilling in the library after school on our laptops, just like playing Minecraft with like mods or like trying to get a server running. And it was great. It was like a fun little thing for me. Like that was like one of the experiences I probably will have a very hard time forgetting. Even though it like only happened once, like it's still one of those things that like stick with you and you'll be like, oh yeah, I used to do that. You know, you ever have those like like experiences where you're like, this only happened to me once, but I will remember it like really clearly. Well, I mean, like everybody has those. Those are formative memories. But yeah, for me in particular, in specific, it was just me and a bunch of my friends in middle school. Not even middle school, like... No, I think it was like the first grade. I think it might have been the last grade of elementary school and then the first year of middle school for me. Just chilling at the library after school, playing Minecraft, and seeing what kind of nonsense we could get up to in Tekkit. That was one of my formative childhood memories. One of the only happy memories I have really from that one specific school, because like I'm sure that like a more socially extroverted individual could have made the most out of that situation, but that wasn't me. That was not me. The head is not nearly as difficult to draw as I thought it would be, which is good, because we are kind of on a schedule here. You know, I do like to take my time and, you know, chill when I draw. It's a good way for me to unwind at the end of the day, but I do like to finish the drawing on stream, so... Ah, man, that reminds me that I forgot to turn on the, the time-lapse. I've been forgetting to do that recently when I draw. Because I think because again I've just been switching from CSP to all sorts of other drawing programs. But I think it's fine as well. It's not like, you know, I put up the VOD, so it should be fine. Well, I mean, not everybody's gonna have the patience for the VODs, but that sounds like a them kind of problem, not like a me kind of problem. Okay, so I think the next move is arm here, because that way we can avoid drawing anything under the arm. Yeah, I think one thing that has improved for me in my drawing, you know, now that I come back to it, I feel like because I've stepped away from drawing for a little bit, you know, even though I wasn't drawing, I do kind of like... How do I put this? It's easier for me to form new habits. Like last time when I was drawing that little comic with a sunflower butt, I actually remembered to flip the canvas when I was drawing freehand. Like, I wouldn't have done that originally. but I do remember nowadays. So I do think there are benefits to like taking a break from stuff, because like I think because you lose a little bit of the muscle memory, you try to remember like solutions to problems that you don't notice because you're just going so fast. You know, like you do something for a while, it starts to become muscle memory. It's great. You don't need to think about doing it anymore. But if you take a little break from it and come back to it, you forget a little bit about what you did, but not enough to like, you know, for it to be bad. So what ends up happening is that you kind of put into practice a lot of things that you might not do normally. So for me, that would be like flipping the canvas. I don't normally flip the canvas because I use 3D models. And, you know, I forget. But, you know, in that one specific instance, I remembered, because I remembered that I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And when I went back to try and, you know, improve it, it made more sense to do it that way. I do know that's like also why spaced training is much better than like intensive training. Like I like some brain dude that I watched a Udemy course for work said that you accomplish more in 2 1-hour, you know, learning wise. You accomplish more learning wise in 2 1-hour sessions than you would in a single 2-hour session. I mean, ideally, you'd have 2 2-hour sessions, but after the first hour, you know, your brain kind of starts crapping out a little bit. Can you believe it's only Tuesday? It feels like the first half of this week is gonna last like 3.5 weeks for some reason. I don't know why. October feels like it should be over. Like it feels like September hasn't ended, but October should be gone and dusted. I don't know what it is about this month. I've never really gotten the hang of October's. I think it's the changing of the seasons. I think that's what's up. That's what messes me up. The changing of the seasons is what always like gets me. You know, the days become shorter, the nights become longer. Although I suppose it would be even more messed up if the days became longer and the nights did too. But you know what I mean. It's that kind of like weird feeling of like change, but nothing's really changing. Although I suppose back you know, this time last year, I had like I was streaming every day. I was like I was doing stuff all over the place. I was only just starting that course that I was talking about, so I imagine that I would have been pretty busy with that. But like, even so, I think like I had stuff to keep my mind off of it. But now I think I've settled into a pretty great routine, so it just jumps out at me a little bit more easily, I think. Yeah. There we go. But yeah, that sun lamp that I bought is gonna have to be my rock. Yeah. I'm still keeping up with part 2 of Chainsaw Man. I'm trying to like keep up with part 2 as it's being published. You know, I know that on the Viz website, they actually publish the chapters for free on the week that they come out. I think like it's up to the most recent 3 chapters that you can read. And you know, the second part is definitely a good contrast to the first part. Like, instead of it being, you know, it has a lot of great contrast between like Asa and Denji as protagonists, because like they both come from like extremely different places. Asa, if anything, is like more like Kobeni than she is like Denji. That does remind me, we never found out what Kobeni's devil was. Like we know that Aki had the fox devil. We know that blood was like blood. That Power was a blood fiend. Did we ever figure out, like, what Kobeni's shit was? Like, I don't know that... I don't think we did. And that's always, like, scared me a little bit. Like, has anybody been keeping tabs on Kobeni? Do we know what Kobeni is up to? Yeah, so that's the one plot head that I'm hoping is gonna get resolved sometime part soon, or it could be just like one of those things where like they never end up revealing what the hell is going on with it. I think that would almost be funnier if it wouldn't infuriate me completely. So, yeah, my innate desire for him to goof around as hard as possible is at war with my desire to know what the hell Kobeni's deal was. Because, you know, I know she's supposed to be like the comic relief character and we're not supposed to think about it super hard, but it bothers me. It bothers me a lot. Like, what's she hiding? Because we did actually see Kobeni in action one time. Like, during the raid on the people who assaulted the train, like, we did see her in action for that one little bit. She almost killed two of the arc villains. And she would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for like a last second bullshit power interruption from somebody else. Alright, hang on. So that's kind of like... that's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, what exactly is Kobeni? I mean, obviously she's human. I do think that Kobeni is a normal human character. I just don't think she's like... I just don't think it's as like shallow as it seems. Yeah, but that's my take though. Like, I just like knowing about like characters who, you know, my personal thing is characters who feel like they're completely harmless, but could actually like kick your ass completely. Like characters who are unexpectedly competent. I think that's one of my favorite tropes. Okay. Yeah, I am delighted that we got to see more of Yoshida in part 2, though. He seems like a good kid, if somewhat sulky. Alright, let's see here. I should drink some water is what I should do. Speaking of chainsaws, I actually have... So this is going to sound a little bit weird or embarrassing depending on your perspective. As a kid, I used to be obsessed with chainsaws. Like, I remember, like, I don't remember what did it exactly. I don't remember if it was like a comic that I read or something, but for some reason I got really hyped about chainsaws for some reason. I think it was just because they were like one of those classic weapons. I'm gonna use a somewhat hurtful term here. Reddit weapon. You know how like Reddit convinced everybody that bacon was the most delicious food on Earth? Like, okay, so that may be a gross overstatement. Reddit convinced a lot of people that bacon was the most important food on Earth, when it's obviously rice. Don't at me. And I feel like the same thing happened for like, you know, katanas, for revolvers, for chainsaws as well. I feel like a lot of dudes on Reddit who watched Army of Darkness as kids just like went like, yeah, chainsaws are pretty cool someday. Let's make that part of our personality. And then they never like thought about it ever again. So naturally, as a kid growing up on the internet, I was exposed to a lot of that. And so I also became obsessed with chainsaws. So I learned how to draw chainsaws from a fairly young age because of this, which is why like actually the head took me a fair amount, but like I can still draw like a chainsaw from memory. Like there's like the handle here, there's the boxy part here, there's a wraparound handle right here, there's the blades here, a little something here, and you know, some like what's that word used in 3D modeling? Greebling? There's some greebling on the side. And there you have it, it's a chainsaw. The worst part of it is that as an older teenager, I also watched Army of Darkness and thought it was a great movie. I mean, Army of Darkness is a good time. Like, you know, I'm not going to be one of those dudes who was like, yeah, it was completely overrated, it actually sucked. Army of Darkness and The Evil Dead is a good time. You know, I'm not going to say that it holds up super well in terms of like no, actually it does hold up pretty well in terms of like practical effects and everything. But I am going to say like it doesn't hold up super well in like some of the like CG and everything. But some of it looks really cool. It feels stylized. Like the thing about Army of Darkness and the Evil Dead trilogy. First of all, it confused me that like the Evil Dead 1 and 2 are like this. I always got confused about that. Are they just the same movie in different continuities? I don't know if they are. I don't know if that's the case. I'm not gonna ask that many questions about them. But anyway, the thing about the CGI, like during the Evil Dead 2, I think, there is a scene where a Deadite does a funny little dance outside the window to psych out Ash. And it looks like a Tim Burton, like it looks like an animated Tim Burton bit. But it looks like it feels appropriate because the whole movie feels like it's some kind of like deranged child's nightmare set. Like, it's not realistic, but it fits with the atmosphere the movie is trying to make. Which I think is much more important than having it look realistic. You know, because if it looks realistic, then yes, great job. But, you know, the fact that they managed to still pull it off with their limited CG practical effects and make it feel like it's not breaking immersion, at least not for me at that time, I feel like that's phenomenal. You know, I feel like that's something that's been lost these days. Because, you know, CG has advanced a lot in the past few decades. You know, like you see like Star Wars and you see like CGs of Star Wars. You know, CG in Star Wars, and it's just like some futuristic display in the computer. And that was like the bleeding edge of bleeding edge back in the day. And now you see like friggin', you know, Marvel movies being produced in one Black Ops location and with a single green screen. And like 15 dudes getting shipped in there in like unmarked white vans. I wish I was exaggerating, but that basically sounds like the procedure these days for these people. Anyway. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've noticed, is that like, you know, the quality of green screen has gone up, but at the same time the ability to create practical effects that don't cause immersion breaks is somewhat decreased. Like somebody also showed a comparison picture between the original Halloween and Halloween Kills, the newest movie in the series, and you can actually see like, let me see if I can find an example of this somewhere. Hang on. So like, let's use this picture here, right? If you mess around with like the tone curve a lot, you'll see that like it creates like these almost like almost this like hang on. Actually the last couple ones were better examples. Like you can see here, right here, that it creates like very visible kind of streaks that wouldn't normally show up, but they do when you do it like that. You can actually see that in the newest film when they get it to like dark scenes, because they've like, I don't know how to put it, like in post-processing made it so that you can see the characters more clearly. And then they compared it to a shot in the original Halloween, where even though it was very dark, you could still clearly see the main actress's face. And it was like such subtle and like impressive lighting that I was like, dang. And like the one from this year is supposed to be an upgrade, and you know, that sounds extremely spoiled. They worked very hard. I'm sure like people worked very hard on that movie, even if it doesn't have the same kind of panache as the original. Like I'm sure, like I don't mean to belittle the work that anybody put into the newest movie, but it does feel like we lost a little bit of something. The other day, my friend who was into movies, my buddy, I have a buddy of mine who's really into movies. He's a great guy. I have a buddy who's into movies, and he showed me a Buster Keaton movie called Sherlock Jr., which is about this dude who is kind of delusional. You know, like a dude who will read like one self-defense manual and pretend he will be like, oh yeah, I bet I could go into like the MMA or something, and be like that. It was basically it was basically one of those guys, but like instead of an MMA manual, he read like a manual on how to be a detective. It's a really funny movie, but like some of the stunts that they managed to pull off in that movie were just insane. And you know they didn't have like practical effects, or no, rather it was all practical effects. They didn't have like CG or anything back in those days. Like, granted, that made it incredibly dangerous, but there are ways around that now. There are definitely like ways to minimize the danger and maximize the production value, which I really respect. Yeah, good practical effects though tend to have a larger price tag, which is why a lot of studios don't opt for them, I think. Yeah. That reminds me, there is like that one movie, like Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. I saw that in a trailer when that same friend took me out to see Everything Everywhere All at Once in theaters. I remember seeing a trailer for that movie. I feel like it's one of those things that would like emotionally destroy me, but it looks so fun and silly that I kind of want to take the risk. Yeah, like I said, I'm either like seriously emotionally influenced by media, or I just am not. Like I feel the emotion. Like it's not like I'm just like an unthinking robot, except for like these 1 or 2, 3 things, right? It's not like that. I do feel stuff when I consume media. It's just that it doesn't like create a reaction in me. But I feel like Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, I'm going to walk out of that cinema a different man. And quite frankly, I can't afford that kind of emotional change right now. I need to be an emotionally stunted little bag of rice for the clout. Alright, let's see here. There we go. Yeah. Something that I found really funny, though, that my friends complained about in the Chainsaw Man anime, but not the actual... Like, I haven't seen episode 1 of the Chainsaw Man anime just yet. I haven't seen the first episode, but I have seen some of my friends' reactions to it, and one of their complaints was that Denji looked too cool. Like, their complaint was that Denji... Like, he's supposed to be like an awful little gremlin man who looks like he just climbed... Who looks like he just... And very likely did just... climb out of a garbage can. And I was like, okay, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about, but I feel like, because like I haven't watched the episode, but I feel like you're so valid for that. God, I do know a few people are gonna fucking lose their minds over animated Aki, though. I don't know, I think it's Ponytail. Okay, here we go. I should drink some water. Yeah. My I talk a lot about my buddy who's into my boobie who's into phobies. My buddy who's into movies. I word saladed there so goddamn bad. That was fun though. I got a friend who's really into movies. I talk about him a lot. We keep in touch very frequently, and he told me the other, a long time, not a super long time ago, but once when we hung out, he said that he's been going through older horror movies. I don't think it was around this time last year. I think it was like earlier summertime this year. We were talking about like which stuff we'd been into recently, which was a wild conversation because he was like, "Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Akira Kurosawa. I've been watching like a lot of I've been watching a lot of classic horror like Alien. I've been watching the Halloween and all that. What have you been up to?" And I'm like, well, I kind of started Kamen Rider Force, but I dropped that. I'm like, yeah, I watched like a Japanese children's live action TV show. So I'm also something of a cinemateur myself. Kamen Rider Force is actually really good. I need to pick it back up. Yeah, the other day in V Server we got together to watch the more plot heavy episodes of Kamen Rider Black, and I really like the outfits in that series. Like, I actually have a couple of these hanging around in screenshots. Let me see. Like, look at that jacket. Like, this is the 80s, so like the jacket only kind of like lasts up to around here, and then it's all jeans down from the bottom down after that. But that is a sweet jacket. Alright, that is like a nice jacket. Yeah, I miss like the more colorful 80s fashion that we used to have. Like, the thing is, right, being born at like the tail end of the 90s, I feel like at around the time I was born, I feel like super colorful fashion was just on its way out, but it stuck around in like but like there was enough stuff from the 80s that like you could still see it in like television and like in advertisements and books and everything. So you could still see like fashion from the 80s around. So we grew up with like these like big colorful block type things of clothing. And I think that like subconsciously affected me. I mean, I do wear like a solid green hoodie, so take that as you will. But I feel like I don't know what kind of fashion trend defined the 2000s. I feel like it was a lot of like stuff that we find lame now, but like it was. I feel like the 2000s were the era of wearing lame things with complete sincerity, and I think that's what made 2000s fashion so powerful. Like if you saw an actress wearing like sweatpants, like a full-on Adidas tracksuit to a premiere of her movie or like his movie or whatever, these days you'd be like, oh, I wonder what kind of thing he's going for. I wonder if this is supposed to be like a postmodernist look. No, they just wore that. Like, that's just what they did. It was still planned. It was still like, it was still coordinated. They still like figured out like, okay, like we need to figure out this guy's outfit. Let's just let's just have him wear it. But it wasn't like any kind of like irony or subterfuge or like any concern of that, because nowadays everything has to be like, I feel like a lot of it at least has to be like deeper meaning. A lot of it has to be like viral. A lot of it has to have like a lot of that kind of in the back of the designer and the wearer's mind while they do it. Like, because of the kind of constant surveillance that everybody is now subject to, because it's just because of the nature of the society that we're in right now. Like, you're gonna get recorded one way or another. So now your life is just like a perpetual performance for an unseen viewer. I'm sure there were people who felt that way before anything happened, before like any of this, before like the surveillance thing started to become, before, like, you know, everybody started carrying cameras in their pockets. But at the same time, I feel like because we only had like that and those very limited cameras over there, you could afford to be more genuine. Yeah, I don't know. Something to think about for me is about that, I think. Okay, there we go. Contact loop's gonna go over like right there. And the rest of the tie is probably gonna kind of sprawl out around here. What always bugged me about the Public Bureau suits in Chainsaw Man is that the ties were square. That bugged me for some reason. I mean, yeah, no, these things are square. They got square ties out there. I mean, I don't think that square ties are like that impressive of a concept, but it's something that I'm not used to seeing. So whenever I saw Denji like wearing like one of these ties, I was like, why is it so square? I guess it's also easier to draw if it's a square. That might be a non-diegetic factor. Also, whenever somebody like, I don't know if clip-on ties. I know Chainsaw Man takes place in like 1997, which is why there's no like mobile phones or anything. But I do wonder what that means in terms of clip-on ties, because I feel like Denji would definitely 100% wear a clip-on tie. But I do wonder, like, if that means that somebody either tied his tie or somebody taught him to tie a tie. Like, I don't picture Denji learning how to tie a tie properly. I figured that he'd just, like, not wear it, but, like, I guess, you know, if Makima told him, he would definitely do it, but I don't picture Denji as being a dude who knows how to tie a tie. There we go. Is that most of the line art done? I think it is. It's bothering me that, like, I'm not, like, adding a chainsaw to this arm, but the problem is that, like, if I do that, first of all, it would get rid of a lot of these, like, clothing wrinkles that I'm really proud of. But also because, like, it would distract from the action of him, like, pulling the starter cord back here. There we go. The other shoulder looks a little too big. Like I said before, like my friend said, he's supposed to be like a really scrawny kid. So it feels weird to make him like muscly. Well, no, that's like the thing is, he's supposed to be a scrawny kid, but also he did do lumberjack work at the age of 16, so I don't think he's gonna be too scrawny. I think this is like a good scrawn to brawn ratio. Has anybody coined that one? I feel like am I the first one to say that? Scrawn to brawn ratio. I feel like that I feel like that one's all me. I need to coin that or something. I need to, like, trademark that shit. I feel like that, I feel like if I did that, though, I would definitely get, like, a cease and desist letter from some country fair that, like, had a machine, like one of those, like, hammer test your strength machines lying around that just had that on its side and be like, pay up, sucker. I'll be like, ah, damn, I can't afford that circus money. Another dream led to tragedy. Okay, I want to make the pants and the tie like very nearly black. I want to use the lighting to kind of shade them, not the shadows. I'll rely more on the lighting for those. Let me drink some water. If you heard like a clanging sound just now, that was me accidentally like smacking my water bottle, which was nearly empty, into the side of my desk. So, at least that means I've been hydrating. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this poor kid. I made this line here a little too thick. Also, there's something not quite right I feel about the skin tone. Like, it's a little too white. Now, see, that looks too... Like, that looks like it has too much healthy circulation, on the other hand. I think this feels like a good balance. Yeah, like, again, I want this kid to look a little garbage. I want this kid to look like he needs like a little bit... I need, like, this kid to look like he needs a sandwich and a meal. Yeah, I feel like that's one of the best tips that I could give for drawing Denji. Make this kid look like he needs a sandwich, like he needs milk in a sandwich. Like if he doesn't have it, that he's like perpetually looking for it. God, I saw a post earlier around going like, "What would heal you?" Like, it was like one of those things where a lot of people like answered like, "Oh, money would heal me." And while that's completely fair, I do feel like that's almost like a... How do I put this? Like, not to challenge other people's wants and needs, but like, I feel like you could definitely get very like there are some golden chances for opportunity in there. Golden chances for comedic opportunity. Nah, he wouldn't have a gold tie clip. He'd have like a steel one. There we go. Now, what's gonna be tough to color is actually the chainsaws themselves. I do still remember how to color chrome, so that maybe I can apply a little bit of that. Okay, so here's how we do this. I'm gonna color all this part like a slightly more reddish shade of that black that we use for the... we call the tie and the pants. There we go. And then we're gonna use like the same dark tie, the same dark color for the eye slits and the hole to the chainsaw head. I've heard people describe Chainsaw Man as a horror manga, but because, like, I never got scared reading Chainsaw Man. Like, I define horror as stuff that makes me feel scared. I did not feel scared reading Chainsaw Man. Like, there were some moments where I was like, damn, was that fucked up or what? But, like, there weren't any moments where I felt, like, actively scared. That's something that happened for, like, The Evil Dead as well. Like, that's something that you know, The Evil Dead technically qualifies as horror, but it doesn't feel like horror because, you know, I don't feel scared when I watch it. There's horrific stuff going on, but I don't feel scared watching it. You know, and I'm known to be kind of a coward when it comes to horror stuff. Okay, I'll put some of that thickness back in there. Gotta handle this personally. No, hang on, that's also not quite right. Okay, I think right around here is when we decided to do that. The thing about adjusting line width is that you need to be you need to be very consistent with it, or else it won't look natural. Although granted, the entire reason this wasn't consistent in the first place is because you weren't very careful with it, so hard to feel bad for myself. Okay, here we go. I know that like a mega boosted these two teeth right here. Believe me, it's all part of my genius master plan, which I will unveil in just 1 second. Oh, I still don't have process whole line selected. That's probably why it's not working. No, that's not quite right. Okay, yes. Yes. No. There we go. And we can just make up the rest of these with, like, additional lines. Yeah, because we do want it to be a little bit scratchy and gross. I feel like he should have teeth like a shark's. Oh god, we're gonna get to see... Okay, so something that I've been seriously wondering about in the anime, right, is how far are we gonna get into it? Because my gut says that we're gonna get to around the end of, like, maybe the bomb... No, maybe, like, the beginning of the Bomb Devil arc by the time that we wrap up the anime, if it's just, like, 12 episodes. Assuming we don't go into, like, hyper light mode for some of these. I know that, like, for a lot of people, the manga didn't really pick up until around the, which arc was it? Yeah, I think, like, the Bomb Devil arc is, like, where a lot of people really got drawn into the manga. So I do wonder if they're just gonna try to speedrun it to that, but that... Because, like, theoretically, right, assuming they, like, only use about 1 episode for some of the arcs, they could theoretically get through the entire source material in the 12 episodes. I mean, it would be a breakneck pace, but that wouldn't be too unfitting for the series. Yeah, I'd be sad if that happened, though. I feel like it would be a disservice to the OG material. Yeah, this line here doesn't make any sense. I'm going to use the same kind of metal color here for the belt. What color should I use for the inside of the mouth? Just like more darkness or shadow? Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get to see the Trip to Hell animated anytime soon. I don't think we're gonna get to see that part of the like the part where they're of that arc. I don't think we're gonna get to see that part. But I do think we're gonna get like I think it's gonna end around the teaser to the Bomb Devil arc. I don't know if do they usually like confirm how far they're going like with the source material in some of the in like the animes? Like, do they confirm that? I'd like to know, because that's something that I've been wondering about. Like, how far, like even back when the Studio Mappa anime was first announced, I did wonder like just how far they were going to be able to get. Because like 98 chapters is not as much as some manga, but it's definitely a lot. Yeah, I do hope that we get to see like Reze animated just a little bit. How do you pronounce? Is it pronounced like Reese? Rezi? Rez? But yeah, I hope we get to see her animated just a little bit. My boy deserves to be happy for at least like 10 nanoseconds. Poor kid. Like, again, this is why I can't like reminisce on Chainsaw Man too much, because like eventually it just makes me sad. It just like I just like think about Denji's circumstances. I'm like, Jesus, poor kid. Yeah, I think part of it is definitely that this is the first manga I've read of like a teenage protagonist as kind of like I kind of become an adult. Like, you know, I'm only 27 years old. I've got a lot of adult understanding in front of me, ahead of me. But it is the first manga I've read, like, when I'm no longer that, as somebody who would no longer be considered like a teenager. You know, it's the first manga I read with that kind of context. So I think like because of that, I'm like more easily like, Jesus Christ, this kid's only like 16. I think that's why it comes a little bit more. Oh shoot! Those were chainsaw blades, weren't they? All right, I know that now though, so I can just kind of like go back and do this. But yeah, I think that's why like Denji's story hit me really hard in particular. It might be because of that as well. Like I know that like young Pavs would have been like, oh my god, he's just like me for real. But like, you know, 20-something-year-old Pavs is like, oh man, this poor kid. Okay, I think I need to do a little bit of like tone curving on this thing. Tonal correction. I am on the wrong layer to do a tone curve. How are we for time? 9:04. Hang on, tone curve. Okay, hang on. Okay, so let's get rid of this one. Talk to me about what's happening here, because this actually looks like some really nice lighting. Alright. We can do something with this. I am interested in how we can work with this. That being said, I still have to do the shoes, so that's... Maybe I'll save that for like after I've done the shoes. One thing at a time, Pavs, one thing at a time. I do, again, I don't know where they keep finding fresh J's for these children to wear, but like, it's good for them, honestly. They deserve something nice in their lives. You know, they may not have the comfort of a stable upbringing, but they do have some fresh ass basketball shoes. So it's a small consolation for these poor kids. That's not funny. Oh boy, here we go again. I keep I keep warning myself. I do keep warning myself that this happens whenever I think about Chainsaw Man. Okay. Anyway, I'm very interested with what we can work with this kind of coloration. Okay, increasing the saturation, good. Increasing the luminosity, bad. I think after this we can just kind of like work a little bit on like... Okay, I do think that we're going to need to shade the teeth the same kind of way that we would shade it normally. And by normally I mean like the metal. Oh man, crunchy wrists. Recently I've been listening to a lot of Fuji Kaze's songs. Like Moe Yo and Damn are two of my favorites right now. Damn in particular I really like the aesthetics of, because he's like this disco singer. He's got like a satin shirt and everything. It's really good. The clothing and costume design in particular are like what really draw me to his videos. Vertical layers. For editing layer only. Here we go. Yeah, Fuji Kaze, that is 2 eyes, Kaze with a K, is actually really... I only recently discovered him. I followed somebody on Twitter who posted about Moe Yo, and I gave it a listen. I'm like, dang, this is good. Does he have more? And he did. So, oh, that's a nice shade. Okay, so I think the way we do this is we separate what are supposed to be like hard shadows from soft shadows, and that way we divide and conquer. Okay, so like right here there would be a lot of hard shadow. Whenever I like find a new artist on YouTube, it becomes a matter of like willpower and my own kind of no, I think it is just straight up a matter of willpower. It becomes a matter of willpower, just avoiding immediately, like seeing the thumbnail in my recommendeds and immediately going for it like some kind of trained moray eel. Like, I'll be like, oh, hey, it's a song I've really been liking. And a little voice inside my head will be like, don't click on it. If you listen to it too much, you won't like it anymore. And another song, and then there will be another little voice in my head that says, like, forget that square. Just listen to the damn song. And it's like a constant battle between the two. Yeah. Yeah. On the bright side, I have started getting a lot of... There are flip sides to everything, right? So I've gotten into the habit, right, of watching clips of more popular, of like the other VTubers in the morning before heading out to work. Like, I'll watch them all eating breakfast and sitting underneath my sun lamp. I'm starting to sound like some kind of weird anime monitor lizard with my setup in the morning. Yeah, I just got myself a healthy diet of like 2 sandwiches. You know, I had myself 2 little sandwiches. I sit under my heat lamp and I watch VTuber clips for half an hour before I have to head to work. It's not painting a great look of like how I live my life, but you know, I have fun, so it's fine. Anyway, self-depreciation aside. I've been watching YouTube clips of VTubers in the morning, and while that has been like fun for me, it is a lot of fun watching that. I do have to recognize that because I watch them so frequently, it ends up kind of oversaturating my recommendeds. Which again, not a bad thing if I'm looking for more, but it's bad if I'm just looking for like something to listen to, because like, you know, I don't need to see Best of Hololive in summer 2022. When I'm looking for like, you know, friggin' what would catch my eye in a YouTube recommend? Friggin' Polka Dot remix of the Mario 64 theme. There we go. I said Polka Dot Remix. I meant Polka, just like normal Polka remix of the Mario 64 theme. I always have wondered if like polka dots and polka the music genre were related in any way. Also, I'm doing this over. I think we're just gonna do like hard normal cell shading for this piece, because I feel like any other way would feel unnatural. We could mix it up just a little bit in places like this. Hang on, I've got an idea. No, that doesn't look quite right. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think I can execute it. Not at least do it justice with the with the kind of constraints that I have for myself. Okay. How are we for time? We've got time. We've got a little bit of time. Wait, hang on. I've got another idea. I've gotten another idea. All right, so hear me out. I'm gonna get the. I forgot that I could do this. Actually, hang on. Let me get the 3D mannequin out here. This is actually already pretty good for the shading. I might just like keep that actually. Hang on. Copy, paste. Copy the layer and paste it. Rasterize it. Shrink it down. There we go. Okay. We move that all the way down here. Perfect. Okay. Actually, I am wondering if maybe we can't go for like a more like... Hang on. Maybe the problem isn't that I'm shading it wrong, but maybe that I'm shading it with too harsh of a color. Hang on, let me try to blend this part out right here. Okay, this might be the key right here. Okay. Okay, I think we've figured it out. I think I've brained this out. Actually, hang on. Maybe the problem is also that I'm like trying to work against these rather than with these. So hang on. Yeah, okay. I think like maybe part of it is also realizing that the shadows need to work with the lines as well sometimes. So yeah, it turns out that I am a bit rusty after all. But that's okay. Should I like put a bump here? No. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, okay. I think that's gonna be the one. There we go. Okay. Okay, I think that's gonna be the move. I think that's gonna be kind of the style that we use right here. All right, let's do it then. Okay. Now I might get a little quiet now and again. That's because my brain is going very, very quickly, and I don't have time to, you know. I like to think that when I make jokes, right, I don't really load the gun. Like, sometimes I do have to think about the joke that I'm making, but most of the time I don't load the gun. I just fire the bullets. So, you know, the normal brain capacity that when I switch to shading mode, the normal brain capacity that I use to make jokes actually gets shunted over. That extra brain rice RAM. I said rice RAM in my central operating unit gets shunted over to being very good at shading. So I get a little quiet sometimes, and that's fine. You know, maybe like I know a lot of people come here because I'm funny. That is not surprising. I'm an extremely funny and hilarious individual who is extremely handsome. But I do know that sometimes what you might need is, you know, what might actually be nice every now and again is just like a lull in the conversation. Like, some people act like awkward silences need to be awkward, but in reality, there are just lulls in the conversation that you don't necessarily need to fill. It's healthy for them to be there because otherwise you're just talking all the time. And, you know, I imagine there's some people who would enjoy that. I imagine there are some people who would enjoy having that experience of just talking all the time. You know, like, for example, I used to roll with some people who liked, you know, having like a constant stream of background noise in their lives. And while I couldn't understand that, you know, I didn't get the appeal of that, I definitely, like, you know, it made me understand that not everybody finds like the same kind of thing. You know, some people might come here for the peace and quiet. Some people might come for the non-stop jokes and like weirdly, you know, weird political. No, I don't really report on political shit. I do like business news because I have a business. I read a business newsletter, but like that's like about it. Like that's. I'm not sure you could call that political. I don't know why I picked up that business newsletter back up. I think it was because like because it was definitely before I started my new job, which is kind of like business oriented. I call it my new job. I've been here for like 8 months already. Hang on. Okay, Blue Shadows. Hold up. Blue Shadows. Interesting. Okay, so let's see that in kind of like more green. Okay. So yeah, right now we're kind of sitting at around a purplish color, which is nice. Now I think blue would be like way too much. Greenish, like leaning towards green. It feels risky. I might do that at the end. I might shift it towards green at the end, but not just yet. Hang on, let me put this on like... Okay, I'm gonna put these in here. I'm gonna set this clip onto it, and then I'm going to blur it. Blur, Gaussian blur. I don't know if that'll be readable, but... No, wait, in that case I just need to make it bigger, right? Okay, that might have been a little heavy-handed. I'll leave that alone for now, and I'll just figure out something else in time. I think that'll be the best solution. I also need to scale down the pen again. Yes, okay. Let me bring in the reference. Okay, so we got like this kind of shading around here. Okay. We'll figure out some more of the shading down here as we go along, but for now this is a good start. How are we for time? We can have a little bit more time. We can have a little bit more time on us. We can go a little bit into overtime today. Okay, there we go. And then from there, nope, not quite. That's also not right either. Yeah, I did say that with the pants and the tie. I was gonna use more of the lighting to emphasize where each thing was. Okay, then over here. This is gonna go here, and this will go here. I love it when, like, shape... I went to a stream by Mochasips yesterday. Mochasips is a streamer on Twitch. They are very good at drawing pixel art. They are a game developer. They are very funny and interesting. They make good ASMR videos. Go follow them. I visited Mocha's stream yesterday, and they were making a new pixel art starting screen, kind of like how I have my starting screen that was tragically destroyed in the great OBS update of '98. Which is to say, there was an OBS update that made a certain plugin that I had crap itself, and I couldn't use it anymore. So I couldn't like warp text. Like, I had a plugin, right, that could make it so that you could warp text so that it was from like this to this, you know, to get like perspective warping. I had one of those for my just starting screen, and it was great, and it worked fantastic. And then an OBS update made it so that it couldn't be used anymore. So I had to switch out my loading screen for my just starting screen for like a different one that I had to like slap together in like a day. And you know, I'm not salty about it. They were making a new loading screen, and they were making a background, right? They were making this background of the cafe, and they started like saying like, yes, this is starting to look populated, and then it clicked for me that like, for me, backgrounds and a lot of the process of this doesn't start getting fun until it's at least like a little bit populated, which is why I try to stick things out sometimes. You know, if something doesn't work like right off the bat, I try to like not pursue it too much because of my time constraints, but you know, if something is interesting enough, I will want to try to follow through on it. And that's because a lot of the time things don't make sense until they're very close to completion. You know, There was a famous saying, I think like Yoko Taro put something like that, or I remember it was like from a game designer conference where some dude shared a quote by his father that said that if you don't know what the final product will look like, it'll be something that's truly never been seen before. Or like, if you have no idea what the final product is going to look like, then you'll have made something that nobody has expected. Not even yourself. And I think that's a great mindset to carry into like creation and everything. You know, it's always scary creating something because you want to have the answers on hand. You want to know, right, will this flop? Will this go well? And it's very tempting to want to have those answers even before you've even started. But I feel like another part of it that's not nearly talked about as much is the fact that you know, once you've kind of had that trepidation, once you've had that kind of like decision to, you know, plunge into whatever you're planning, it becomes much more interesting because, you know, you see it coming together right before your eyes. You see that, and it feels great. Yes, that's why you have to try to have a little bit of patience with yourself when you create. Because, you know, you're not going to know what it'll look like at the end of it. Very few people do. Like, I remember that's something that, like, a famous marble sculptor once shared, was that, like, you know, he was at the level where he just saw a tiny elephant trapped in the marble, and then he carved it out. And that was how he carved. So I think it's almost like a similar thing. Like, you need to be able to know enough about, like, how it'll turn out that you could feasibly say, like, yeah, this is how it's going to turn out. I don't know if that made sense to anybody. I feel like I said something profound. You know, I feel like the best, like, discussions and the best talks and stuff have been made by people who have no idea what they're saying, but, like, feel it very deeply in their souls. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I think it's just something about the raw and unfiltered power, like, emotion in some of those people that, like, really, really gets me. If you've ever heard somebody who's, like, really passionate talk about something they like, it's like a magical experience almost. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. Hang on. Alright, let me try something right here. Where's the gradient? Okay, interesting. Very interesting. Let's try it from, like, a longer distance. Okay. Okay, I think I like that. Hang on. Let me try to play around with that some more. Let me try and play around with that a little bit. Okay, interesting. Also, there's a line here that shouldn't be there. Nah, I feel like if I do it too much, it'll start losing punch. Oh god, speaking of punch, I know that Chainsaw Man was super popular. I know that Fire Punch is another one of Fujimoto's works. And I know that one's fucking Like, that one is hazardous to human health. I know that Fire Punch is, like really, really dark. Even more so than Chainsaw Man. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should read that. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read Fire Punch. But I did see it at my local public library the other day, and I'm like, no, don't put that in the manga section. Some unaware kid is gonna read that. Like, I've seen the content warnings for fucking Fire Punch, and Jesus Christ, Fujimoto, what the fuck? God. But yeah, Fire Punch seems to be a very, very strong body of work. Which I just frankly think a lot of people will not be ready for. Wait, what's this point right here? Get out of there. But yeah, I don't know why that sent me into a panic. Whenever I see like normal anime stuff getting mixed in with like pop culture, it's a little bit weird because, you know, I definitely grew up in the time before, like, I feel like nowadays anime is definitely more mainstream than it was before. I feel like, you know, like I feel like nowadays kids are so exposed to anime regularly that, you know, they know, like, beforehand, like a bully would have to like read about what anime was to bully you about liking anime. Does that make sense? Like, being bullied for liking anime was something that required pre-reading. But you know, nowadays kids just like watch anime and it's not a big deal. Like, it's not nearly as like something that you get bullied for as it was back in the day. You'll still get bullied for it if they hate you enough, but like, they're not gonna like bully you like immediately. You know, maybe it depends on like your situation, but I've seen like a lot more of anime just becoming very mainstream across everywhere, and I think that's like great, but like, again, it activates like a fight or flight instinct. Like, you shouldn't be here, dude. Like, again, it makes me happy. It just feels weird. It feels unusual to me. Yeah, video games too. Like, I heard a couple of my coworkers discussing that they were playing Overwatch too. I have no plans to play that game, but I have been keeping on top of like the news for it because like everybody's been making fun of it on Twitter. That's really funny as well, that like nowadays you don't even need to like... I've always said that being a hater requires a certain amount of energy, like a certain kind of quantity of energy. Right, because like if you're kind of a hater, you need to like be on top of like whatever thing you hate. Right? Like, you need to stay informed on it so you can hate on it with like proper passion. I mean, some people are too lazy to do that, but the good news is that even if you are too lazy to do that, the internet will just like give you ammunition for it. Like, you don't even need to like trove around for too long. It's great. It's very convenient. Okay, and then... kind of like that. Kind of like this. Oh yeah. Another thing that I'm looking forward to is the climax of like the hotel arc for the Chainsaw Man anime. I just know that like the fight with the Infinity Devil is gonna look sick as hell animated. And then over here. You know, that amazing. For some reason, I just got reminded of. Oh yeah, so the closed captions captured Infinity Devil as Infinity with a little I, like the. I think it's a TV brand or something. I'm not sure, but that did remind me that apparently, like, Stadia is going to disappear soon, and a lot of people were like wondering why that happened. I heard that it was like because like Google only rewards like employees who are part of new growth projects. So like if you want to advance your career, you don't actually want to stick around and fix whatever's wrong with the current project. You just want to jump ship onto a new one and start developing that one quickly, because that way you actually like get paid for it. And that's what I heard. That might be just hearsay, to be perfectly honest. But it would make a lot of decisions that I've heard Google make a lot more sense. I know that Google is currently in one of those camps that is too big to fail, right? But I understand that, and I would say that it is catastrophic if we lose Google as a search engine, because a lot of people don't even know there are other search engines. Like, they'll know Bing. They know Bing because it's like what they use to download Google Chrome. That's mean. But, you know, they will know, like, Bing. But, like, besides that, they won't know about, like, other alternative search engines. Like, one of my friends said, like, what's that Walmart-looking fucking search engine you've got? When I pulled up DuckDuckGo. What I'm saying is that I am going to hold all the cards once, like, the anti-Google revolution arrives. But yeah, like, stuff like Starlink, stuff... Wait, no, Starlink is the Elon Musk Wi-Fi thing. What the fuck? Starstream? Google was, like, working on, like, some kind of weird streaming thing. Not that isn't Stadia, that is completely separate from Stadia, but I don't remember what that one was called. I don't remember what that one was called. Okay, so I'm thinking that right here, we use just one price piece. Why don't you just pop up? Oh, right. I forgot that for my anniversary thing. I have the rice piece button set to the decimal button. Check this shit out. He's bouncing back and forth like a pink, like one of those like bracket balls. Whoa, rice feast upon ye. Okay, that's enough messing around. I was talking about something very... well, it can't have been that important if I forgot about it. That's really funny though. Hang on, let me... Well, one more time. Okay. Where... Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to tell me if there's something behind me, okay? Okay, I think that's enough of that bit. Alright. I was working on the shading for these pants. Alright, let me see. Voluminosity 6? Okay, I think 6 might be a good one. I'll need to be careful to make sure this doesn't look too messy. Also, particularly because, the very, like, slight difference in shading makes it difficult to see. No, that one doesn't feel right. Let me just use the soft eraser down here. Over here too, we'll do a little bit of that action. I think that's a nice kind of like subtle shading for the legs. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do for the arms. Oh geez, and I still have to do like the metal texture. The metal texture should be fine actually. The arm, yeah, the metal texture should take like... It's just gonna be until I get the hang of it, and I think after that it'll be fine. It's gonna be so fine. Actually, maybe we can go for a more out there color for the mask. Okay, no, I take it back. Never mind. On the safe zone it is. No, that's still like too much. No, that's worse somehow. Getting there, getting there. That's the one. There's the winner. Okay. Then, oh yeah, head shadow. With for your pointy little chin. I was about to ask, right? I only ever heard the Spanish version of the Three Little Piggies. So it always confused me why they were talking about like the beard hair on pigs when pigs don't grow beards. And then I just realized that, you know, pigs have hair even if they don't have beards. So that's score zero, -1 for Paps, and score 0 for animal husbandry. As a skill. I want to learn more about caring for animals. I feel like it would be a cool knowledge to have. I just don't know, like... I feel like that's the sort of thing you have to specialize in, you know? Like, you need to, like, want to learn about horses or something. Or something like that. And that's how you learn about animal husbandry, but, like... You know, I'm kind of like the person who enjoys learning stuff in an all-round kind of scenario, rather than, like, in, like, individual bits and bytes. I think what I might do is I might just, like... Hang on. Might do this on a separate layer as well. Increase brush size. And then with Kneader Eraser, just kind of like go very kind of messy on there. There. And then this. Nope, 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 nope. No, now that just looks like he got really bad sunburn. Okay, so I think like the normal one that I have, but like in a different hue maybe. Okay, increase the saturation, decrease the luminosity. Change it around a little bit. I think this might be the one. Yeah, I think this is it. Let me blend that out a little bit here and there. Okay, blend that out continuously. Naturally, we'll add a few dings and scratches here and there. Not too many, naturally, but like a couple. A little bit more light there. Nice, okay. Oh, we should also probably like do some light shading on the actual head part, huh? Or maybe even like, hang on, we might just be able to do a little bit of like normal shading. What's that gonna look like filled in? I don't like that. I could always fill. I could always like shade this like. Okay, I've got an idea for how to shade that. I'll apply that later, if I remember. I'm not gonna lie. Like at this point, I have so many plates spinning that I might forget a couple of things. How are we for time? Ooh, starting to go over. Can I just finish this in a separate? Nah, we can finish it here. I think we can finish it here. Alright, here's how we do. Okay, so if I remember correctly, it goes. Okay, I need like a bigger pen for this one. Dark. Light. Medium. Dark. Medium. Dark. Light and dark. I'm mad lad. I thought you'd be asleep by now. Well, listen. Listen. Sometimes some things are more important than sleep. That's not true. Don't take that advice. Hi, bunny. But yeah, I mean, I've got a fucking mission to finish this, so you know. I am a bag of rice on a mission. Okay, so like this here. I do wonder if I could maybe like posterize this a little bit and make it make it like more brutal looking that way. Let me try that. I've never really gotten the hang of the posterization tool. I'm not sure what it's supposed to do. Oh, that's... Hang on. We might be able to work with this. Hang on. Okay, and then we just like... Let me play around with like the saturation and luminosity and everything of this. Too much, too much. Okay, and then let me blend that out a little bit. There we go. And then I'm just gonna like... Okay, so I'm gonna manually select these, and I'm gonna do like a couple of strips of like the whiter color on each one. For this one, it doesn't bother me if it looks a little rough, because that kind of works with the chainsaw aesthetic. Actually, yeah, hang on. I should do like the plate facing upward and then the little like lines. Oh no, if that's the case, then I might as well just select them all. I activated the ruler function on CSP by accident, and now whenever I see it up there, it's like I worry that it's like a bug or something. Not as in like a technological bug, but as in like a biological bug. I think that's a fly in there. It's a little fly haunting me. I need to set up a apple cider trap. Straight up, the apple cider trap changed my life in university because I kept getting fruit flies in my dorm room. I don't have so many fruit flies now. I think they were just like populous near where college students reside for some reason. I still make them sometimes when like I bring in fruit because like they just come with the fruit sometimes. But you know, the apple cider vinegar fruit fly trap is something that I stand by. Time tested and environmentally focused. You know, it's simple as hell. You just you just get some apple cider vinegar, some apple cider vinegar and a little bit of soap in a bottle, and then you fill that up with water until it gets halfway full. You put a little like reverse cap on it to make sure that it's like make sure that they can't get out, and then you just leave it to work, and in 3 or 4 days the flies will be gone. Because they'll be dead. They won't leave because like they've had their fill. They'll leave because they're dead. I should clarify that. I feel like I should clarify that this is not a trap that saves the flies. I feel like I should clarify that. There we go. Actually, I do wonder if I should like erase some of the shading on here, because like that'll make it a little bit easier to figure out that that's a belt buckle, or that it's supposed to be a belt buckle. I kind of have something I want to try and do here. So I'm going to select this part right here. I want to try and warp this section so that it kind of like looks a little bit more like that, but I'm wondering how I can do that. Oh, well, alright. I just need to make sure that it's kind of aligned properly here. Pretty accurate to what I heard, which is not safe to be which was not safe to be a fly. Yeah, no, being a fly is, I imagine, not a great existence. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's like entire parts of a religion which are about like how much it sucks to be reincarnated as a fly. So I believe you, Bunny, when you say that it sucks to be a fly. Not to mention you just eat garbage, which is, you know, what I eat for my body isn't great for me, but it's at least not literal garbage. I'll be the first to admit that sometimes my eating habits are not the healthiest, but, you know, I'll also admit that I'm at least not eating straight up garbage. You know, it hasn't gotten to the point where I need to become a hunter-gatherer in modern society. I mean, one time as a kid, there were these, like, flowers that had, like... Alright, so this is gonna be one of those stories where you're like, wow, Paps was, like... Paps might have needed some additional supervision as a child. That's not true. I was perfectly supervised. I was just irresponsible. As a kid, on my way to school, there were these flowers. So let me try to draw like a picture of them. I think they weren't like daffodils. They were like some kind of like nectar-having flower. They had like those like little like long pistils here, right? Kind of like that. So what I would do sometimes is, because I knew they had nectar in there. I knew those flowers had nectar in there. Sometimes what I would do is that I would like pick one of those flowers, just like the top part, just like the part of that flowers. I would pick that, and like I would like put the tip of it on my tongue, and I would taste something like, and that was like the nectar that was in there. I would like taste that sweet nectar. That might have not been nectar. That might have been like some other kind of plant fluid, but you know, I felt very clever for pulling that one off. Anyway, I had something else I had to talk about. I've been meaning to watch Alien as a Halloween movie. I've been meaning to watch a lot of Halloween movies. I heard Smile is pretty good. I know that Smile is supposed to be pretty good. It feels weird catching movies in theaters for me. I feel like at this point that like I've embraced the hermit lifestyle so much that I either need to like see it like 8 months after it's been released and nobody's talking about it anymore, or like I need to see it like even before it hits theaters. I either need to become a hipster or like, you know, I either need to be a hipster or I need to be like a Luddite. One of those two. There we go. Okay, now I just need to chrome out the parts in here. Which should be pretty easy. When it's thin lines like this, you can just kind of like eyeball it. Eyeballing it is the most accurate known measurement of mankind. You know, obviously you don't want to hear like your surgeon say like, ah, it's fine, I eyeballed the anesthetic. But like, I will say that it, like under most circumstances, if somebody says they've eyeballed something, it's safe to say that like that's fairly accurate. Okay, no, we do need a little bit of that blending action here. Perfect. And here we go, here we go, here we go. Yeah, what I might do for these ones, like, it's almost like the opposite of what I did for these ones. Like, instead of like giving them the lighter touch, I might actually give them the darker color. So for the ones over here, I will use a shorter brush with ruler. And for these ones, I'll just like do it like this. Oh, missed one. There you go, little buddy. Right, I also needed to chrome out the helmet. I remembered it. I remembered that I needed to chrome out the helmet. But I'm going to do something special to it on another layer. Okay, so I'm going to need this. I'm going to need this right here. I'm going to need to be very, very careful. Okay, there we go. Then blend that out. Okay, now, if this does work, I am going to be a very happy camper. Come on, where would it be? Okay, that's not quite right. This might be the closest that I have to it. But that doesn't look right either. Maybe what I need to do is like change the hue of it. No, wait, it's already in black and white. That's not gonna work. Damn it. Alright. So, what I can do then, hang on, we've still got options. Gradient mapping. Sunset gradient map, no, sunset red? Okay. Try that out a couple of times. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna call it that. I'm gonna call that about as good as it's gonna get. Got to do the teeth. I need to remember to do the teeth as well. Hang on. I'm very proud of bringing that one out, though. I feel good about that one. Hey, CA Bear, how are you doing? Okay, then edit, version, sunset red. I think we could just leave that one as is. I actually kind of like how intense it looks. There we go. Chainsaw Man, I'm good on you? I'm doing pretty good, I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy with how this piece is coming out, so I'm a very happy camper. Normal, 100%, there we go. Okay, okay, it wasn't one of these, but what if I just, like, lowered the opacity a little bit? I think that's fine as well. Okay, so then... the teeth. I needed to do the teeth. I remembered. Thank goodness. Okay, that's... oh, I'm on a separate... I'm on a non-normal layer. Okay, here we go. There we go. That looks a bit cleaner. I also... okay, so I did actually catch some gifs of the scene in episode 1 where Makima hugs Denji. And I think it's really funny that the metal parts just kind of slough off of him like orange juice. I think that's actually really funny. Like, I wasn't sure how they were gonna show him converting back to a human, but I think, like, the chainsaw parts melting like orange creamsicles is about as good as it's about as funny as it can be, all things considered. Man, I could go for an orange creamsicle right now. Usually during the summertime, I buy them in like these bulk pack boxes that they have at the supermarket. And those work fantastically, but like, I mean, obviously it's not great for, like, obviously you shouldn't eat too much candy. But, you know, for my purposes, they're quite good. You know, for my means, they are quite efficient. And so I usually get those during the summertime. I didn't get them this year. I didn't actually get like a whole lot of ice cream this year, come to think of it. I guess I just didn't feel like... I just didn't crave it too much during this year's summertime. But I used to get myself like these orange creamsicle boxes, and those were like... oh my god, I need... I've messed up. I've given myself the orange creamsicle nostalgia. Now there's no saving me. But yeah, I like orange creamsicles. They're very tasty. Okay, what are we missing from this? I feel like we're missing something. We're missing a background, but that's the least of my concerns. Skin's done. This part needs to be redone. There we go. Okay. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't remember what it is. There's supposed to be a shadow over the chainsaw. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm gonna like blur this out a little bit. No, wait, hang on. Which layer is this? Alright, let me try that again. And then blur that out. Yeah, okay, I think that looks good. Alright, I will figure out like some random background I can use for this. Oh wait, actually, come to think of it, I did actually recently get my hands on some blood backgrounds. That sounds strange. I got my hands... So, I use Humble Bundle sometimes. I use it to buy stuff that I want or that piques my interest. And usually those come with a whole lot of other free things attached to the bundle that I buy. I don't always use all of them. I will admit that I have a bit of a problem. But some of them come in handy sometimes. So I think one of the ones that I had were these... Let me see if I can find them. I had them somewhere around here. I had them in... I think I have them in a folder in my art folder. Resources, ink size, shockwave, impact, ink mats, skies. No, okay, so then they'd be in my downloads folder. Folks, I'm gonna take a second to look through these. Oh yeah, it was in this book cover template pack. Unsupported file format. What the fuck you mean unsupported file format? It's a PSD. That's about as supported as it gets. What are you talking about, unsupported file format? That is super weird. I don't know why it's not allowing me to open that up. I don't know why it's not... Okay, so why is PSD not okay with you suddenly? Clip Studio Paint. Oh, there we go. Okay, that one's in an unsupported file format. How about this one? Will you open this one for a Scooby Snack? Okay, sure will. How about this one? Interesting, interesting. Okay, so it's just a 1. Okay, no, it's 1, 5... What are the rules to this? What kind of messed up Fey trickery am I being subjected to in this moment? I feel like I'm being pranked, but I don't know by whom. Alright, hang on. Okay, that one won't open. How about this one? Okay, I don't think that one will open either. Convert CMY color. Sure, why not? Oh god. Is this because of like CSP's updates? Is that what this is? I feel like I don't understand anything anymore. Oh well. That's life sometimes, something you can do about it. Alright, hang on. Where's this, Oh, blood. Okay, here we go. Yeah, gotta pay homage to the first volume cover. Alright, so that means we'll just, like, make this bright orange in the background. And then add the blood layer. Now, where's the blood? Oh, there it is. That's kind of tiny, ain't it? Oh well. It's not about size, it's about how you use it, right, fellas? Wait, no, I remember these also had, like, a ton more. For some reason. Alright, hang on, I'm gonna activate all the bloods like I'm going Kaioken mode. Okay, how about this? Which one's this? I don't know where... Okay, this one might be hidden by Denji's torso. Okay, I don't know where this one is. Alright, this one's this one. What about this? Okay, this one. Alright, Blood 6 copy. And these guys I'm actually gonna also base boost a little bit. This one I'm actually going to flip upside down for a little bit of variety. Okay, and I think we can colorize these to be green. Okay, I guess not so. Let me rasterize it. Okay, let me merge these layers, then try that trick. Okay, I like that. I think I think that works. Actually I think it... Hang on, I think it would work better if I didn't add the Blood 6 copy here. Okay. And then maybe copy and paste Blood 3 copy a couple times. Alright, that looks good. I like that. Jeez, we really dragged this one out, though. We're way over time. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think we got a great end product, so I'm happy with the effort we put into it. Alright, let me just tuck away the little reference there that I had. Actually, come to think of it, I did also have some... Hang on. Don't save, do not 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 save. Yada yada yada. I think I also had, like, some, like, smoke or ink effects rolling around here. Let me see if I can find those real quick. Because I think those might actually be kind of a nice final touch to this. Yeah, here we go, ink mats. Okay, so if I take this and place it over this, flip it around turnways. Or maybe even like, okay, so I'm gonna like, okay, I'm gonna let that convert, I'm gonna let that process because it's processing right now. Let me give it a second to convert, and we'll see what we can do with this thing. Looks great. Thanks, Bunny. Now this looks like he's being thawed out of a block of ice, is the thing, with the white paint. It looks like he's been stuck in a crate of ice for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, so I think there was like this purple or pinkish one earlier. Subtract. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Nah, I think it's good as is. I don't think we need to, you know, don't overdo it. Sometimes you need to take a step back and realize that you don't need to overdo it. This looks like a little sad face. Look at this guy. He looks like a little sad worm. He's poor little guy. Born into a world not meant to understand him. Yeah, maybe the real Chainsaw Man was the worms that we found along the way. I don't usually like making those jokes. I don't like making like the real X was the thing we found along the way, because even I think they're cliche. But I do find, like, if you find the right time to whip one out, it's like a critical hit. All right. Anyway, we're done here. Let's see if there's anybody who is around for me to raid. Yeah. I hope y'all. Okay. So, who all is streaming right now? Okay. I think V is having Toku Tuesday, so we can raid over to her. Alright, so let's summarize what we learned today. 1, my new background looks sick as hell. 2, thinking about Chainsaw Man makes me sad. And 3, I forgot what other streams I have this week. I might move Friday's stream. I think Friday I'm playing Pikuniku, which is a fun little game. Hang on, let me check my stream schedule. I usually have it as my background, so I know what the hell I'm doing. Alright, let's see. Yeah, on Friday I was going to play Pikuniku, but I think I might bump that up to Thursday, depending on how Friday looks for me. Friday is looking like a heavy day at work. So, you know, we might do that on Thursday instead. Not a big deal. But besides that, yeah, I'll catch you all next time. I will see you later, and I hope you had a great time. Later. Bye.